Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to GameStar TV for the Heroes of the Storm Season 2 qualifiers. My name is Kit Fox. I will be your host for this season throughout the entirety over the 5 weeks. We have got an amazing team of casters and producers set up for you tonight. Once again, we have got Skinny on play-by-play. Vandy will be the analyst. Producer Crisis again pushing the buttons behind the curtain. And Avexium is the community manager. And he will be everybody's liaison. Welcome to the audience. Welcome to the teams, new and old. We have got 17 teams. It brings a tear to my eye how I see this competition has grown. We've got Nomia, Leighton Hewitt Fan Club, Onyx United, Onyx Esports, TrumpSports, Winners, the Daddy Disco, and the Concurlings, the Bird Punchers, Ethereal Cat, Team Legion, City Walk, You're Off the Team, TLVID, PogChamp, P5, Mission Improbable, and Morton's List. So welcome all those teams. We have got so much coming up for you in the broadcast tonight. We'll explain the Swiss format, and we've got a few tweaks as well. We've got giveaways to both the teams and, of course, you, the viewers. We've got the GameStar Small Streamer Spotlight as well as the one-day comp if the teams do not qualify through our competition. But right now, we've got TrumpSports versus TLVID. And now the new Game of Thrones may still be a while away, but admit it, you have missed this man's voice more than any TV show to ever exist. It is Skibby, and he's joined for another season by Vandy as TrumpSports take on TLVID.
Always a pleasure, Kit Fox. Yeah, hello and welcome, guys, to another season of ANZ Heroes of the Storm, Vandy. Here we go, season number 2. We're on the Probius patch. I don't believe we're the first region to pick it up, but there's a lot to discuss and a lot of change that I've obviously gone through.
Oh, definitely. There's been heaps in Season 1, and that's what we like to see. The game's been fresh. Everyone's taken a step back. We've tweaked things here and there, and we're all just ready to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Probius still with the 2-week ban. Don't expect to see Mini Gazlo today, but definitely some of his StarCraft friends will make an appearance in today's viewing. So, as mentioned already, we do have Trump Esports up against TLVID. We're going to be on Tales of Doom for round number 1, and actually, Vandy, this is slowly becoming my very favorite map. You know, Dragonshire was the go-to for the rotations and the macros for teamwork, but there's just as much chaos and ability to sort of micromanage members of your team to win those 1v1s and 2v2s on this map as well.
I think what can be so satisfying about Towers of Doom is that really you have to earn every sort of point that goes towards the core. There's no core rushing. There's no sort of backdoor tricks here. Really, you just got to fight for it. And I think that's really refreshing to see. And I think that's also why we're seeing it be sort of one of the, I guess, top maps to go to competitively as well. We've seen a lot of it played here as well as overseas.
Absolutely. And I say still Warhead Junction, not really finding its mojo, whether or not a change needs to be made. But I believe it was only played like twice over the entire HGC, both for Europe and NA. So we've included obviously in the map pool for the proceedings in the coming weeks, but there's definitely still no love for that map.
No, not indeed. And I think maybe there'll be a little bit of a revisit there. Maybe we'll see some Haunted Mines sort of rework magic happening there, but we'll wait to see.
Let's talk about these bans. So Tales of Doom, Zaya's been taken off the board straight away. A lot of that comes down to the fact that enablers are so strong right now. She's like the third wingman, so to speak, that you bring to a team fight. She'll give you a shield, she'll dish out some damage, and she's such an annoyance. But the interesting point to bring up here is TLVID have banned at the Falstead. Now, from a blank point of view, Falstead great with the globals to rotate from a bottom shrine or bottom altar to a top one, but definitely with Gem Jam on the side of Trump, that's a huge respect ban.
I reckon so. They just don't want to sort of when you know that someone's really great at a hero, it's sort of a no-brainer, right? You just want to sort of try and put them off, just not give them a free win condition, right? And just easily, we're seeing some top-tier heroes being snapped up by both teams right now, that Ragnaros, Li Ming, Dahaka off the board. As we've sort of seen, with enablers also coming into play, there's also still been emphasis on getting that global presence happening. And that's what Dahaka can bring in. So even though they have banned the Falstad, Dahaka was picked as sort of maybe even an answer to that.
Yeah, and that would have been sort of the mindset I can imagine them going in with that double pick, thinking we can take Falstad off the board, deny a strong pick for Gem Jam, but then we pick up the other one. Sometimes this forces teams to go down that Brightwing opportunity route because they feel like they need a global to compensate for that. But taking a look at these first 3 picks, you got that trifecta of melee assassins, Rag, Zeratul, and Dahaka, arguably the most popular heroes in the meta right now from that melee stance, and Li Ming just to finish things off. Chances are it's going to be Demise playing the Li Ming. He's always been a very solid player when it comes to that hero, but before the second rotation of bans come around, Malfurion was picked up, arguably the god-tier support. Nobody beats him right now, and for good reasons too.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I mean, we were just sort of a couple patches ago, even if we think way back, we didn't see much of him prior to his rework. So he's in a really strong place at the moment. As you said, being a hotly contested support to sort of bring to the table. And Zeratil's another face that we haven't seen a lot of until quite recently. I feel like he's sort of found his niche now with changes to mages, changes to bruisers sort of going around. His ability to set things up with Void Prison is just what makes him sort of a playmaker, and you do want that on your team, especially at a high level of competitive play.
Well, it makes you so scared, because you're going to be completely locked up, and we've seen time and time again a very common pairing between the Zeratil is the Jaina, the Ring of Frost Void Prison, so cantankerous to go up against and actually try to deal with. And you can actually see here, by them banning out Tyrael, could potentially show that they're going for a complete blow-up comp. Right now, they have the synergy between Zeratil, a Entangling Root, and a Sulfurous Smash to follow up. So it's a lot of burst on a squishy target, and Vala being locked in now on the side of TLVID. Although she is a top-tier assassin in the range department, her big weakness is her squishiness. She's very susceptible to the CC, and if she gets called out in the wrong time at the wrong place, expect her to be popped off, and the numbers advantage really going in favor for Trump.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm just surprised to see that Valor just sort of locked in there, especially as we don't yet know their support, and with Malfurion taken off the board. Interesting to see what they're going to do, but she's got a very, very strong front line to play around. So I guess that's where it sort of all balances out. And I'm just really wowed and I guess really happy to see the quality of drafting tonight. They're really thinking about their team comp, as you said, Skimmy, with the Zeratil thinking to go for a blow-up comp. And then on the other side there, they know that they got the Valor and Li Ming. They want to have a really strong front line.
They picked up Tychus, Vandy, and we were talking about the reason why Bruise is sort of starting to creep up in the meta. Tychus was nerfed. His range is no longer as OP as it was, and as a result, a lot of people thought that Tychus was dead. But the other big point to talk about why enablers are so strong is because of this man here, Lucio. Speed boost, clumped up heals in a certain area. It just enables any hero with that sort of melee capability to get into range and hit harder like they're designed to do. So yes, Tassadar and Vala can be a good pairing, but as a solo support, Tassadar isn't going to be the strongest choice. But we've got two very interesting, different sort of team comps.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see how they sort of play out. And I can't believe that I almost forgot about Paul Lucio there. It's because he's so often banned. I just haven't gotten to see him slip through in the drafting phase. So he definitely is a very strong support as well. And like you said, fills that role very nicely. Just going to make it all that much harder to get to those priority squishy targets.
And Lucio almost sort of re-evolved the meta, so to speak. We had a lot of controversy about the tank changes, and as always, Reddit getting itself into a bit of a nut over things. But change is meant to happen. Meta does get stale, and I think in the coming weeks we'll see exactly how it does mold. One thing to bring up, though, Arthas has been the most questioned tank, but no Arthas in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I just think with what they've got going on at the moment, they're just still sort of sticking to their quality players. Where I guess Arthas can really shine is if you want that sort of prolonged crowd control effect. And really, he still fits that role of, I guess, when you've got a lot of melee champions, just being the counter to that. So, like you said, there was opportunity to pick him. I just feel like they're still trying to find his place, or perhaps just reverting to some comfort picks, because they're all top-tier heroes that they've sort of filled out their rosters with.
Yeah, I think when it's going to come to this this game at hand, a lot of it's going to come down to obviously Dahaka playing safe in the solo, but they've got a lot of squishy members in this four-man rotation for the side of TLVID, and that's going to be excellent for Deuces, who's a profound Zeratil player. He's going to be looking to try and execute those squishies on the rotates between top and bot. So especially Lucio with the control on the hills, but not only that, the actual SAM barrier when it comes later into the game is going to be clutch. But here we go, game number 1 of the Season 2 qualifiers. Let's start on the left-hand side. It is the blue team. It's Trump Esports, starting with Sharper on Mirrodin, Deuces on Zeratil, KVA on Ragnaros, The Shadow on Malfurion, and Jim Jam on Tychus there, Vandy.
And then on the red team tonight, we've got TLVID, as I'm going to be calling them. We've got Lahal playing Lucio, Vikarek on Dahaka, Demise on Li Ming, Tommy on Valor, and Iceball playing ETC. We've just got a bit of a pause here because it looks like Jim Jam's unfortunately dropped from the game.
Yeah, I heard. Apparently there have been some big storm outages in Melbourne. What can you shed on that?
It's been pretty crazy, on and off with the rain, but luckily it doesn't rain for too long down here, so he should be back in a matter of minutes. But in saying that, have we noticed anything interesting on the talents?
Let's have a look, actually. It seems to be the standard right now across the board. Prog Rock picked up for an extra ability to heal when the AoE sort of effect like Lucio is already going to bring to the table. One thing I would bring up is Power Hungry at level 1 for Demise, suggesting he just wants to make sure every ability counts. Not that it doesn't otherwise, but you'd think sometimes the spell armor would have its effect given the team comp of TrumpSports is looking to blow up a squishy and, you're leaning. So that's one thing to keep an eye on, see how quickly she gets popped. But apart from that, it looks like the standard ANZ 323 is going to be resolved.
Yep, definitely. It's going to be back. But like you said, Power Hungry, just making sure that it's going to stay in lane, especially with a much smaller map. It's a standard sort of pick to see across Li Ming. And like you said, gives indication of how aggressive he wants to play. As well, Sulfurous Hunger's being picked up on Rag there. Just making sure that he's going that sort of melee build instead of the poke build with his meteors. So pretty good to see.
Yeah, it seems to be the go-to though, the Sulfurous build. Just the most all-rounder. Level 4 you can vary it. Yeah, exactly. You can sort of have a 2-second cooldown essentially in the team fight, and you can 1v5. You can do crazy things as Rag and then bring the pain. But I think a lot of this is going to come down to rotations from the side of TrumpSports. Can they get picks on these squishy members? But on the flip side, TLVID need to stick together. They need to really rely on Lahao and his positioning and have that sort of get-out-of-jail-free card.
Definitely. I mean, we saw the speed boost going to play there with that little gank. But, I mean, Jim Jam and the Shadow weren't overextended enough for them to sort of get advantage. But those are the things they need to sort of watch out for because Lucio is so good at mobilizing and covering, I guess, like a large distance very quickly.
Yeah, right now the speed boost is in favor of that tilt, but the rotation's been a little bit quicker. But look at that, just one singularity spike followed by an auto attack, and Demise is down to half. And that's the sort of stuff I'm talking about here. No burst healing on the side of Lucio, so you get popped, there's not really much you can do for you, but then they do spot out Deuces. ETC, a great response to that Zeratul pick, and suddenly just like that, Deuces meets his own match down to half himself.
Yeah, and it looks like he keeps trying to roam down bot, but keeps getting interrupted by Ice Cold there, just not catching a break.
Yeah, he's definitely got his eyes on check there, can see the little shimmer wherever it's trying to hide away, but Deuces once again looking for it. Jim Jam's going to go in. No, the entangling root does not connect, but Jim Jam's going to fully commit to 1-for-1 trade there. First blood does go in favor of TrumpSports. Looking for a double to Shadow. Can he get it with the Moonfight? Down to 29 health, and Tommy does not make it a 2v1.
Oh, so close. You could see Deuce there wanting to go in, but making sure that he wasn't going to get baited into a fight and you couldn't win. Just looking at the cooldown saying, nah, wasn't worth it. And Tommy lives another day. But we've got those altars activating now, so it's going to be interesting to see. Are they going to try go for the disrupt off the bat, or are they going to try just cap? I mean, it's really interesting. You can either do one thing. You can either go and try to disrupt on the other side of the map, or you can all go for that middle point down the bottom, while you send one team member to cap your respective ones.
Well, that's it. The way they're posturing right now, they've got 3 members on the side of Trump here looking to try and interrupt. They've got 4 members, obviously, from TLVID coming into this. Deuce is looking to try and drop somebody low. Once again, Demise feeling the pain there. But Vikrak with the global ability as the Harker picks that one up in the top right for free. Jim Jam picks up their one respectively now. Now they're just fighting for the one in the middle. This is when it will come together as the collaboration. Sharp already zoned. He's going to get taken out there. Vala dropped off the board. Tommy, so much damage so early on, taken off the board. ETC follows hot pursuit. And a great little pickup there. That's what we're talking about in terms of the squishiness and the ability to find targets. And they execute.
They do indeed. And I mean, we've got Vikrak making sure that he's pushing up there, getting that experience, but he just didn't see a good opportunity to burrow down. Once it's lost, it's lost. It's good to see that they sort of cut their losses and moved on. But really unfortunate to see, as we sort of said, because they've just got such sort of glass cannons on their team, they really do need to make sure that they are protecting them to the best of their ability. Otherwise, like you said, pop, they're just going to go like that.
I mean, one would almost argue, yeah, level 10, play for the late game, we'll get stronger as we get more talents and more opportunities to find the right skirmishes. But the same thing really applies to TrumpSports. We talked about their level 10 synergy between the Rag and the Zeratul. They are going to find one target, and that person is going to be decimated straight away. So in terms of these team fights, they're going to have to really control it. And like I mentioned during the draft, Lucio's going to be right on point there with that sound barrier.
Yeah, I mean, Sound Barrier just gives them so much value at level 10. Really, it's just that shield. The amount of shielding you get is just massive. And I know it does sort of drop down and strip away quite fast, but it's just so good at mitigating damage, and that's what they need for the squishy champs on their side.
So looking at the level 4 talents, from what we can see, Raggy's gone for catching fire, so not only does he get extra regen, he's going to get activatable 25% armor whenever he needs it, reducing any damage taken across all sources. Sometimes the talking point is they go for the spell block with your living meteor. In this case, he's going to opt for that when he needs it and when he wants it. But a skirmish is going to break out in the bottom-hand side. They do get the entangling root, though. I don't think Jim Jam was prepared for that. But once more, Demise dropped to half of his health, and he's going to have to start playing those mind games, because you can see Deuce is ready for the rotate and looking for that kill.
Yeah, they're always mindful, always knowing that there is a Zeratul out there. Like you said, playing those mind games, they just got to make sure that they're not going to get picked off. So interesting to see, but there's going to be another brawl with that altar sort of coming up. But none of them are in position except for Jim Jam, who looks like he'll just be able to sneak it away.
Well, that's it. Jim Jam's going to get this one in the bot lane for free, completely uncontested. The rest of Trump are doing a great job of keeping these members together, and you can see them all packing around Lahal, who's making sure AoE heals are dished out for free all day. Icebolt looking for the opportunity, he goes for the power sniper, does not connect to the clock, and his Demise gone! Li Ming taken off the bulge straight away. They're looking for more. Entangling root is so good there by the shadow, and like a swarm of hungry hyenas, they are collapsing and looking for more kills. Zeratul a little bit too aggressive there. He does get taken out, but the team clean it up on Dahaka. They get another 2-for-1 trade, and they're starting to mount a huge lead in this game, Bandy.
They are. I mean, we can sort of see their team fights right there. We had everyone that needed to be there to sort of protect Demise, but really he couldn't, because he just came around from the flanks right there. It was really a surprise attack in all sense of the word. But in saying that as well, there was really no reason why they should have lost that altar. I feel like they were just sort of looking towards the altar more so than just checking their sort of surroundings. It was almost like an oversight, I feel. It's just hard to say. I just find it hard to see that they would get surprised by Zeratul like that.
Having played against Deuce's Zeratul as a Valor myself in Hero League, I know how infuriating it is to go against. I mean, it's going to be alleviated a little bit at level 13 when he has Gloom for the passive spell armor as well as the activatable, but it's still that whole idea of I'm a squishy carry, I'm going to be doing a lot of damage, and he's going to have a high priority target put on my head.
Eyes for you.
Absolutely, and it's the same sort of story for Li Ming too. If you take out the damage dealers, you're going to have an ETC and Dahaka standing there slapping away like wet noodles.
Yeah, slapping wet noodles. I mean, hopefully not like that. You'd feel a bit cheated, I feel, if you were going up against with the little noodles, but I digress.
Well, talking of digression, we got Demise here also caught in the lag, so a bit of Aussie internet, really. I mean, we feel kind of privileged here in New Zealand.
Don't rub it in. It's really unfortunate, but yeah, we're just having those. You just got to get them out early, Skimmy. Game 1, everyone's got it. You just got to shake it off.
Get them out of their system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have a look at the. Let's keep talking about the talents. I mean, a level 7 for Dahaka, he's gone for the constriction, so increased the drag duration, which would suggest potentially later on he's going to go for the increased range as well. But this can be opted for reducing the cooldown by hitting multiple targets. I feel as if he's deciding that's not going to be the sort of situation that's going to come about, and this is going to be more value in that regard. But Valet is going for the standard multi-shot. It seems to be the general, well, we say general. Demise never runs general builds on Li Ming. He likes to do his own thing. And he's going to get aggressed upon once more. Demise taken out. Vorpal Blade and Seeker in the dark. And you can jump around like Happy Feet.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to sort of verse, as you sort of said. But that's what Zeratul's about. I mean, they know, and there was not really much more to be said, except for just it was an unfortunate gank right there. And we're seeing some huge aggression here now by them taking the Merc camp down, because they have that pressure now. It's sort of a 5v4. They just want to get as much of that map presence as possible, and they've already hit level 10, so they've picked up all their heroic talents.
So you got the level 10 ultimates, nothing out of the ordinary there at level 10. We did expect to see the Sophia Smash combined with the Void Prism, obviously Twilight Dream being the go-to. Odin might have been a talking point, but it does seem to be the best in this scenario, given they have those squishy backliners. And those auto attacks, when you are in that Odin form, will hit hard. But really looking now at Vikarak, a lot of work is being put onto his side to really abuse that global factor that they have, try and get some attention drawn up into a side lane and break up this wombo combo.
The old
break up the wombo. Indeed, indeed. And I mean, I'm also seeing the heroic talents on the side of TLVID, and we don't really see anything out of the norm. We've seen Sound Barrier. Oh, sorry. We've seen the Zeratul just go right there.
Well, I was just going to say, Vikarak came in with the aggressive burrow. He's looking to make things happen. Maybe they're going to go for a double kill. They called out the shadow, and that's perfect timing with the altars up in 5 seconds. And you could see they coming for the rotation from the top-hand side. Tommy, respectively going to his own corner. He might actually look to be aggressive here in the 1v1. He's got team support coming in. But just like that, the levels are evened up. Oh, KVA just gets the shots off there as Lahal comes in. That was such unfortunate timing.
I can't believe that actually went through. I was looking at the timer. It looked, I think, with the projectile traveling, he just got it up. That was crazy to see. Poor Lahal, he was trying so hard as well to just make sure that he got there in the matter of time.
Now let's have a look here how Icebowl plays on the old ETC. He's gone for Mosh Pit, and I know this guy likes to do cheeky plays there, especially with the tour bar, so he's going to cast it in a bush and jump on out, but hold your thoughts. There's the Odin, the Void Prism, the Wombo's here, and they just go straight in for one. Make that two, taken off the board, deleted, shredded, and you have to send the Electro an excuse. Damn.
That was perfect. That was Deuces being like, this is my version of the mosh pit. Do you like it? And I mean, with that Twilight Dream right on top of it, it was perfect. There was no counter right there for ETC to drop the mosh. They made sure that they were going to get these kills with no assistance coming from TLVID.
Yeah, and the decisiveness there, like, let's go grab boss straight away. And now let's just push in a lane. So Merc camps are up. Seems to be the case right now. The consolation prize, if you will, for TLVID is to pick up their own cap. But look, being KVA and crew are here. They're looking in and they go, thank you for the donation. We're so appreciative that you've actually started that camp for us. We'll pick it up and, we'll bomb your forts.
Frustrating to see for them as well. They almost slipped it in, just not enough damage on the board. And really, it's great to see how aggressive TrumpSports are playing. They know that they've got the sort of bully power and potential around this map now, especially with that roam that Deuces is giving them, that sort of hidden set of eyes. Sometimes a stealth character, yeah, they don't really have all the wave clear in the world, but sometimes that vision that they bring and just that map presence is just so much more worthwhile.
This ult is actually in a really good spot for them right now. They've just picked up their own respective camp. And I'm going to go for the wave clear now to try and escort this one. And if they can get a pick before this even happens, it'll be excellent. Iceball's going to get called out. He's going to go for the power slide. He is going low. Serious Smash is on a 6-4 and it's on the end of the world, but they're going to try and catch onto Lahal now. The route was good, but he gets away on a sliver of hill. Vikarak joins the party. It's a bush party. Rain of Vengeance used to try and peel him off. Iceball goes in for the mosh, but he catches onto just Rag there. Zeratul does explode. It's currently 3 people taking off. Lee Min getting resets. And it's a party right now. She's going for more. She's going to get an ice block. And the Shadow is delaying the inevitable. 4 members taken off when you thought Trump Esports had it. TLVID, they pick it up.
My hat to TLVID for how well they did that team fight just then. That was so well done. It looked like it was starting with Iceball getting picked. You were talking about picks, it looked like he was getting picked. He fell back. There was enough healing coming out from Lahal on Lucio to make sure that they could fall back. Then Vikarak was the next one to sort of pretend like you got caught. You never really caught as Dahaka, that's the thing. You've got your burrow and you've got that regeneration going on. So you're just healing back up and you're wasting a lot of the time. Then that ETC, the mosh pit that went out from Iceball, snapping them all up, giving Demise those resets, it was just so well played. And really, TrumpSports, I think, might have been taken aback by just how quick the tables turned. I know I was.
Yeah, you sort of saw just the fact that these 2 team comps rely on different methods. We're talking about the team fighting ability coming out of TLVID and how they need to execute it. And because the Void Prism wasn't used for that wombo combo setup, they really relied on getting that pick onto ETC. Unfortunately, the Soul Fury Smash clipped. It didn't hit him in the middle, and that would have blown him up for sure. If the numbers advantage had gone from that point onwards, we would have seen a very different scenario. But the target switching, but no kill, just gave enough time for TLVID to switch things around, and you saw what happened there. Li Ming has a standard shenanigans.
So standard shenanigans. And I mean, props to Iceball for even juking that. It looks so clutch. And just KVA must have been so frustrated to see that Sulfurous Hammer just whiff. Just by the slightest of sort of measurements, you could sort of say. So crazy team fight. And like you said, it's just propelled them right back in now.
Talking about propelling, it's going to be an even trade, it seems to be, with 2 bell towers going down respectively, top and bot. KVA picking up the remnants of that one there. And some Sapper camps helping out the top-hand side, but Vale gets picked off in mid lane. That is what they're looking for, and with the vision there from the mid lane, they can scout out what's going to go on, but look at this adaptation popped extremely early on with the barrier from Vikarak. They're going to look to try and burst, and Burrow falls preemptively, same with the strangling roots. And they are going in, boom! Actually, no, got cancelled because the Void Prism was still in place. But the Twilight Dream was there. Lots of burst. Mosh pit onto 4. What can a Shadow do? He's standing there. He's just watching. He's a spectator. Li Ming is slowly going to turn things around. Zeratul, Muradin, gone. They are looking for it. They got punished so hard once again, Vandy.
Oh my gosh. I mean, well, I was just going to say, for TrumpSports, it was such a well-played team fight. And then once again, just bam, right back there, reverse. It's that mosh pit just doing so much work. And I really wanted to say, though, the Void Prism Entangling Roots combo that they did to get that pick there was really nice. But as you said, wasn't enough. They just got the tank down. They weren't getting the priority targets that mattered. That's just where the team fight sort of went wrong for them poor guys.
Void Prism was like literally 0.25 seconds off dropping. So if you're a smash connected, and the damage just it whiffed. Sure, that combined with Twilight Dream would blow up anybody. It's so unfortunate, and that's just the age-old saying, right? You don't get the kills, you give them enough time to turn things around, and it happened again. 2 towers were traded for 1, as the middle spawn, what would you call it, the underground teleport? The tunnel opens up there.
Wait,
the gate.
The gates have opened?
The gates to heaven open their way through the mid lane, but Sharper is looking. People are sitting in bushes. People are waiting. It's party time. KBA is going to walk on in. He's going to look for that cannon, but Sharper, he has the comms. He knows people are in there, and rightfully so. He's the tankiest one.
Yeah, it's good to see there's none of the bush shenanigans happening. I did hear that they're going to sort of trim a couple bushes from the maps the developers were saying, but not on this map, it seems.
Yeah, no, Garner's here. Jim's Mowing Company still looking for a job, and these guys still looking for team fights. Sharper's going to get amongst it in the mid lane once again, copping an Arcane Orb to the face. Preemptive wave of force, trying to get Deuces out of stealth. Hungry, he is still looking for those squishy members, but I think these squishy targets have started to adapt and learn their lessons.
Oh, and Vicarek going right out there with that aggressive positioning. Tries to go for the grab, but instantly didn't get the drag quite off.
So they are behind in terms of shots against their core, but still doing great in terms of levels, a full level up. And they've really accelerated that thanks to the team fights won, but also Vicarek using that split push to try and get some pressure in the other side. Next ulti is going to spawn in 20 seconds. It's going to be a single one in the bot lane where Siege has already begun from TrumpSports, who are now posturing around. They've got all ultimates available for that wombo combo. They need to execute it cleanly this time. Ice Ball goes in for the power slide, looking for some carnage. Deuce is going to get caught out here. Does manage to get away. 5 seconds on the ult spawning, Vandy.
I know, they're going to want to try and get the team fight in their favor before it goes to get that added advantage, but Sharper getting dangerously low there.
Sharper's getting caught. There goes the mosh pit, followed by the sound barrier, and a Void Prism using the backline as a zoning tool, not even as a combination, and ETC gets taken out regardless of a wombo burst. They are looking. Sharper jumping in for the hole. No! Entangling Roots does not hit that time, but Vicarek does get forced to pop barrier extremely early on. That vision is down. He's got no essence to heal with. He gets taken out for free. Random vengeance onto KJ. He is running. Boom! Comes in with a soul from the smash, but once again, Juke. Tommy, beautiful vault away. Jan, he was looking for with the overkill onto towards demise, but the eyes is going to have a field day now. So many low members and 2 people off the ball. Triple kill for Li Ming this team fight. And suddenly, once again, TrumpSports on the defensive. KJ is going to go into the Molten Core. He's going to try and shake the Shadow for as long as he can. It doesn't matter. He's in the Molten Core form, raining fire from above. And it's a 4 for 2 after all that. It seems to be TLVID, Vandy, are slowly creeping in with the mid to late game.
They really are. Demise doing so much work, getting all those resets. Tommy as well, dishing out the damage. I'll keep them all topped up. Yes, the front line was taken out, but they were saying, we don't need the tanks anymore. We're going to counter clean you up. And really, you can see how much healing Lucio can bring to that team, that sound barrier as well, keeping them all safe. Great to see. Well played.
Well, huge level 20 Pale Spike, if you will, acquired now by the side of TLVID with Bossanova at 20, as well as the increased range with Firelight Quiver, and not even that, even Repulsion for Li Ming, giving it even more appeal and potential to not get blown up. But the biggest one I'm looking at here is the Torbas. Watch. I want to see if Icefall does it this game, but I've seen him in the past charge a mosh pit in a brush and swing on out. And, well, that is a sight to behold if you're playing that Chinese bush meta.
It's really infuriating to sort of go up against you because you think you're safe. It's almost that bolt on the Odin and KVA now getting caught. How strong rain of vengeance by Tommy there to initiate with.
That's detrimental to their wombo factor. He's down for 60 seconds. Alters do spawn in 5. It's going to be a double cap this time. 4 shots apiece as it stands currently. And I mean, on my screen, I'm seeing this in percentage. I actually don't know the full shots, but according to what I see here, 13% to 40%. Need to do some math on the fly. We need somebody in the chat to work this out for us. Be a good sort, support the community and support our heads. We can't multitask right now. But level 20
is 20%. There you go.
There we go. dangerously close, 20-13. They're now going to pick up the bell tower on the bottom hand side as well to complement. No Sapper camps to pick up to complement, and it's scored Kappa camps. But the response seems to be from TrumpSports, hit level 20 and try and get the spell tower in a top hand side as a reflection.
Definitely. They just want to sort of recap their losses as well, but they really need that 20. They are about to get it to sort of even the playing field, but their base is looking a lot worse for wear right now.
That's one way to say it. It's taken a beating. It's had a hard night out on a Saturday, and it's here to recoup for the Monday shift. But Demise is not playing anything out of the ordinary. He is looking in those bushes, making sure that nobody's going to be coming out and trying to scout him through. But right now, the shot call really is, let's push through mid whilst TLVID... TrumpSports is distracted in the bot lane. Let's play the macro game. Let's play our game. Force them to come to us, and we can decide how fights want to go. Molten Core interrupted it. You can see KVA channeling it, but no, level 20 has been acquired, and this is when it's all gonna matter.
It is going to matter, but it's going to be the next team fight or the next altar sort of coming up, and there it is in 30 seconds. They're going to want to desperately try and cap this tower, but it's just not building itself fast enough. It's really delaying them and slowing them down. And we're seeing even Vikrek having time to go to the top lane. He said, don't worry, team. I'll burrow down and meet you there.
Well, that's it. Just keeping up the pressure, forcing them to respond. This is what we were talking about briefly before. He's going to go for the burrow straight away. He has gone for Essence Claws, so I won't be able to burrow as much as otherwise, but it gives him a lot more survivability in a fight, giving him 5 essence per auto, combined with the fact he got a Lucio to speed you up. That's a lot of self-sustain.
I like what KVA is doing here. He knows he's not going to use Molten during the fight, just making sure that he's using it to poke in case the TLVID were there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that you're not going to want to use it during a team fight. It's a DPS loss in some case. But to talk about the level 20, the big thing I want to highlight is the big red button. Not only does it mean Odin lasts longer, but it gives you even more burst. Combined with the Soul Fury Smash and nuke that lands on you, that's another 1k straight off the bat and a huge AoE effect. Much bigger than the Soul Fury Smash adds. He's going to pop it so preemptively here. He's just going to make sure he can get some big numbers at the start off things with. There he goes. The Void Prism, followed by the nuke. They're looking for the blast. Drop the portal! No! Demise managed to blink out this time. Milliseconds once again. They're going to look for it. Submerge is taken out here. Same with the Twilight Dream to zone that back line. Tommy is down to 400. Can't do much. Demise is half. The half is gone. That's 2 for none right now. This is huge. Jim Jam is having an absolute fun time there. He picks up Lucio. And, well, the advantage seems to be so good for TLVID for those last few moments. But like that, they've regrouped and TrumpSports have reclaimed.
Yeah, TrumpSports showing that once they got that level 20 talent and sort of equalized the playing field, there wasn't much that they could do. And Demise also just playing with fire here, just making sure that he's not going to get caught out. It would be detrimental at this point.
Sharp as keen. He has Stormbolt.
He can. He can. But that was GG anyway with the ult shots. It makes it really hard to realize how much they're on. Skimmy with that little change that they snuck in.
Yeah, we might have to actually reflect on that one for the future with the UI. Yeah. This was literally released 3 hours ago by Ali, the modder himself, and it looks beautiful. But regardless, a great game overall. A game of 2 sides, would you say? I mean, we see 16 kills apiece.
It was such a close game. Like, that comeback that we saw TLVID do, they should be super proud of it because it was great to see working together as such a strong unit. And same from TrumpSports, 2 really evenly matched teams, Skimmy, going out. And we can see just capping off the hero damage right there. No surprise. Tychus may be nerfed, but his hero damage says otherwise, sorry.
Would you have an MVP in particular for that game? I mean, I was looking at Lahao a lot of that, saying that he was a big linchpin of their success. And a lot of those times, those sand barriers were pretty on point, and the effect that he allowed his team to be empowered to gain those positions for Leeming to fund the resets. And for me, it was a MVP-worthy nomination.
Yep, I would have to agree with you. If I wasn't going to give it to Lahal, there's an honorary mention to Deuces for playing his Zeratul so well. But Lahal with those sound barriers, as you said, stopped so much damage, kept the ones who mattered. We were just talking about it, how important it was to keep the 2 assassins alive, and he managed to do it. So hats off to him.
Awesome stuff there, Lahal. Well done. So you get yourself in the draw for week number 1 of Season 2 ANZ Road to HGC. Means you get a chance to win that Plantronics headset sponsored by those guys. And, well, keep playing, guys, because obviously as these rounds progress, every single game has an MVP nomination. So you've made some big plays, some top 5 plays for that YouTube money. A chance to get yourself a headset so you sound the bee's knees on Discord. But for the meantime, that's me and Vandy off. We'll pass you back to Kit Fox and we'll get ourselves ready for game number 2.
Thank you very much, Skimmy and Vandy, for that cracker of a game between TrumpSports and TLVID. If you have just joined us, we've just had a few results come in from that first round. Nomi are picking up the win over Ethereal Cat. Leighton Hewitt FC pick up a win over Team Legion. P5 managed to defeat Daddy Disco and the Concurlings, who are off the team takedown Onyx Esports. And winners have defeated PogChamp. We've got 2 more results to come in, but we will be back. We're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because we've got so much more to come here, right here on GameStar TV for the Heroes of the Storm Season 2 qualifiers.